Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failure. Let's pick right up where we left off. We're going to do the next non-linear mission here in Portland, this first island. We're going to do Firefighter. So the idea here is you push you get in the fire truck, which spawns right where we were. And occasionally the fire truck, I think, could be locked. I honestly think that's a pretty rare occurrence. But anyway, if it is locked, just run away, 200 feet and then come back. And hopefully it'll respawn unlocked. So the idea here is we got to put out 20 fires on each island. Burning vehicle in Harwood. So I don't want Harwood. I want everything down south. So I'm just going to hit numlock until we get stuff in the red light, Chinatown, Trenton, Portland area. So that I don't have to drive too far away. So anyway, you hit the numlock button to start. Oh, sorry about that. Hit numlock to start Firefighter. You look at the dot on the screen. You also look at the text at the bottom of the screen to know exactly which area of this island the fire is in. And again, I feel quite happy to reject. St. Mark's is okay, I guess. We can try St. Mark's, but if it feels like it's far away from where you are, just hit numlock twice. Once to cancel Firefighter, once to restart Firefighter. Again, this is not like Paramedic. You don't have to do all 20 fires consecutively. You just have to do altogether a total of 20 fires. So this one is pretty far north. Wondering if maybe I should have rejected St. Mark's, but it is what it is. We're over here now. Okay, so one annoying thing, and you just hold down the left mouse button to fire the water. All right, so normally I would reject Harwood, but because I'm so far north, I'll take Harwood. I think we got to go up this kind of fancy shortcut thing here. The fire truck is very robust, quite difficult to flip, quite difficult to get enough damage to make it get destroyed. So, I mean, like, don't go crazy with the fire truck, but this is not as fragile a vehicle or dangerous to drive as the ambulance for paramedic. Okay, so here's the thing. The game does not tell you when you've completed 20, where am I going? 20 missions, 20 fires, which is quite annoying. You can just sit here all day doing fires. And so what we want to do instead is keep track ourselves. And so, where are we going now? Red light. And so I've got a little piece of paper here next to me and a pencil. And I'm actually playing this mission, this firefighter mission, with the pencil in my right hand as I drive around. And every time I put out a fire, I put a little tick mark. So I think that was number 5. I should probably think about, I actually wasn't doing it in the beginning because I was focused on talking. So, oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm all out of whack here because I was focused on the commentary. So normally, when I'm paying attention to what I'm doing, I've got this piece of paper and pencil and I'm keeping track of how many fires I've put out. So it's not that big a deal if you don't do that. It just means you got to go into the stats menu. And so because I'm so lost right now, I don't know if that was 5 or 6. I'm actually going to demonstrate by going into the stats menu. And we'll wait for the number of fires put out to come up here. So this, like if you're actually keeping track of the game and playing this game legitimately, then like the clock is running the whole time while I'm waiting for my data. So I don't generally do this, but like I said, I was distracted by the commentary, sparkling as it was. All right, should be coming up soon. Fires extinguished 7. I was off by 1. Okay, so I'm not going to look at that anymore. What I am going to do is keep track from now on. So I've got my piece of paper and pencil, and again, playing the whole firefighter mission with the pencil in hand. And I'm just putting those little hash marks, I don't know the official name, tally marks maybe, where you do like 4 vertical lines and then 1 diagonal line going through those 4 vertical lines. And so you block off every 5. So that one right there, I put another vertical line, that's number 8. Harwood is far north, I don't want that. So we hit numlock twice. Trenton is good. And yeah, there's not much to this. It's not a problem if you run out of time. You can just restart Firefighter if you run out of time. And if you happen to flip your fire truck, it's not impossible. So if you drive like a lunatic and you flip your fire truck, you just lose some time because you have to make the trip all the way back up to Harwood to go get another fire truck. But this is not a stressful thing like I find paramedic to be stressful. And it's not nearly as long. All right, another hash mark. That was number 9. St. Mark's, I'll skip it. Red light is okay, I guess. Come on, buddy. So firefighter doesn't take near as long as, for example, paramedic or vigilante or taxi. You only have to do 20. Typically, it only takes me 10 minutes, just under 10 minutes to do firefighter. I think if I were to accept every firefighter like fire to put out instead of rejecting the ones that are far away, I think it would take longer. I know you waste a little bit of time waiting for them to tell you where the next fire is, but I think it's quickest at the end of the day to be selective. All right, hash mark, that's number 10. St. Mark's we're going to skip. St. Mark's we're going to skip. Trenton, we'll go to that one. I was kind of hoping for Chinatown, actually. So the nice thing is, like, these things are, Portland is pretty good. The next location comes up so darn fast that you can really be greedy and try to get really nice spawns. For Vigilante, it takes longer for the game to tell you where the next criminal is. But here you can be quite aggressive. Was that a police officer? So getting a wanted star here isn't that big a deal, but you are easy to pull out here. So I'm just going to look behind, make sure there's nobody here, because the fire truck is pretty slow to get started from a stopped position. So I think that whatchamacallit, wanted star will disappear on its own, no problem. So I'm going to try to avoid pedestrians for a little bit. You just have to be careful when you're stopped putting out a fire and then getting going again, because if there's a police officer nearby, you might get busted, which we do not want. A couple of ways to get busted. I guess we haven't talked about this yet. So if you're in a vehicle and the police officer manages to open the door and grab you out of that vehicle, then you're busted. All right, hash mark, that's number 11. Trenton, let's go. And if you're on foot, actually, I think it's been forever since I've been busted on foot. I don't even know what has to happen. Maybe you got to get knocked down. I mean, the police officer will start punching you or shooting you or something. So it's pretty rare for me to get busted on foot. But getting busted in a car is much more common. And so if there's police officers nearby, you just want to make sure you're moving, more than at just a snail's pace, so that you can't get your door open and get pulled out. Okay, so my wanted star has disappeared. That's good. That was number 12, hash mark there. St. Mark's, no. Portland View, that's good. I like Portland. If I could just kind of rotate between, like, say, I think I should have gone to the right there. If I could rotate between, like, Portland, Trenton, and Chinatown, I think that might be the ideal triumvirate of locations to put out these fires. All right, 13, hash mark there. Chinatown, thank you, game. And again, just trying to get to 20. Now, I think I might check the stats when I think I've gotten to 20, because I'm not used to doing firefighter and keeping track of these fires while I'm doing commentary. And doing this commentary is taking up some of my limited number of brain flops. Oh, look at that sports car. Okay, that was 14. Where are we going now? Callahan Point. It could be okay. I'm going to skip it. It might be pretty far south. I'm just going to keep being greedy here. Trenton is fine. And as we get close to 20, ideally you want to put out your 20th fire somewhere in, like, the Trenton or Portland area, if you can finagle it, because right after we put out the 20th fire, we are going to import-export this fire truck. And so if we can be near the import-export garage entrance, this area over here to our left, when we put out that last fire, that saves a little bit of time. Okay, there's 15. I just put my diagonal slash. We're going to skip St. Mark's. We're going to go to Trenton. Let's do it. Hello, officer. Okay, and like I said, I just don't find firefighter to be very stressful or anything. St. Mark's, no. Hepburn Heights, no chance. Harwood is too far north. St. Mark's, Callahan Point. All right, I'm going to skip it. Trenton. And so you can see how quickly you can get a replacement fire given to you, which is why I feel like it's fine to be greedy and ask for really ideal fire placements. All right, that was 17. But if you are, kind of neurotic about this thing, it's easy enough to do all 20 in a row. If you do all 20 in a row, then you don't have to keep track with pencil and paper because the game will keep track for you. But my goal is to try to complete this game as fast as I can while being reasonably safe with my strats. Portland is good, and so that's why I am kind of aggressive in asking for decent fire placements. Okay, I think this is 19 here. And so what I'm going to do is check out the stats again just to be ultra safe. So I put my 19th hash mark, and hopefully it'll say 19 here. And again, you don't want to be doing this if you're trying to finish the game fast, because this is, whatever, a 15-second time loss because I can't keep track of how many fires I've put out. I do wish that the game would tell you when you've put out 20 on each island. I don't know if that's a programming glitch or an intentional choice from the programmers. Total fires extinguished, 20. One more hash mark. Alrighty. Let's drop this thing off. So I'll hit minus, which is my hotkey for live split, to say I've completed that mission. And I'll hit numlock to turn off fire truck, cancel fire truck. And again, I'll point out that the live split here, my timer didn't tell me that I finished 20 fires. It's just not programmed that way. Maybe because the game itself doesn't keep track of that, or doesn't tell you when you've completed it. All right, so we can see the fire truck is getting picked up. We'll get in here. We'll say, yep, we finished that one. And then we'll move on and do our next mission. So how long did that take? About 11 minutes, which is not a great firefighter, but again, I'm doing the commentary thing, so a little bit slower. Sometimes I switch to the Kuruma there, but sometimes I just keep whatever the name of this truck is. Is this a Yankee or a Mule? I forget. But we get on this road, and we're going to head to the next RC car, remote control car mission, and it's actually on this road, so we just drive north. There's the 1500. Oh, hello, sir. There's the 1500 for dropping off the fire truck. So we come right over here, right opposite Tony's. Tony's is there. And this one we're supposed to blow up mafia gang cars. And I should point out, do not blow up your little toy car near the van, because you are physically sitting in that van. And if you blow up the van because you detonate your car, then you die. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that just to my left here, this gray car is exactly one of the ones that we want. But I don't even bother, and there's one too, I don't even bother grabbing those guys. You don't even have to learn what the Mafia Sentinels look like, because there's a fixed one conveniently located right up here. So typically what I do is just come over here and detonate, and then stop. I did my one kill, and then I would, get up and stretch, get some water or whatever. So while we're sitting here, I mentioned a couple of things. Well, maybe just one thing, talking about rampages. So I didn't mention this last time, but if you take a look at the next step on the live split timer there, rampage number 2, it's an AK rampage, and then it tells me where the location is, in an alley east of Tony's restaurant. It's actually right where we blew up that Mafia Sentinel, so we're going to head right over there after this fixed 2-minute timer runs out. But there's also if you fail the rampage, you can't just go do it in the same location. I'm not thrilled with this programming choice on Rockstar's part, but if you fail the rampage icon moves to a different fixed location. If you fail a second time, it moves back to the first location, and it just goes back and forth until you pass. And so you can see it says here in the parentheses, in alley south of Tony's restaurant. So that's me trying to briefly describe where the backup rampage location is. But if you have never been there before, you don't that's not enough information to get you where you want to go. So you really want to look at a map of Liberty City with all the rampages identified, and also with their backup locations identified. And I have linked such a map in the description to this video. So go check out that map if you want to see the rampage locations and the backups. I think they're in blue squares, and the primary location is a blue square with a triangle on the top of the square, And then the secondary location is a blue square with a triangle on the bottom. So this is where we're going here. You can't run with whatever weapon this is, so we hop, and I like being up here. I feel pretty protected. There's somebody over there. Can I reach you? Yes, I can. And so this rampage is pretty straightforward. I am going to keep my eye on my health. There's a health pickup right there, and then there's armor that we're going to get. But I'd rather complete the mission, the rampage, without getting any of those things. So I'm keeping my eye on my health. If you're getting wrecked, you can just kind of like back off a little bit, and they'll have a much harder time hitting you when you're sort of farther away. 11 left, a minute and change. I'm looking at my armor, it's at 40, no problem. Because there's armor. All right, can I reach these guys without getting wrecked myself? I don't know if that's doing anything. Yeah, probably better to get these guys over here. All right, so now I'm getting hurt here. Somebody has got good aim. All right, so this one is getting me 66. Oh, wow. All right, 3 left. Plenty of time. I just want to make sure I don't die. No, I'm not going to die. All right, let's see here. So we got 2 left. This guy will be one of them. And then I just need one more, and I'm trying not to put myself too much in harm's way. Come on now. There we go. All right, so we're going to grab the health right here. And then right down here, there is some armor and a gun. Might as well grab that. And now we're back up at full everything. Okay, so we go right back out the way we came. I like grabbing this fixed Mafia Sentinel. I'm going to hit slash to indicate that I have grabbed the health and stuff. And now we're going to another rampage. This is kind of 3 rampages in a row, which is fun, but can also be risky because of health concerns. But we're all filled up right now going into rampage 2. So we're going up the train tracks. Can I make it? Yes, I can. So we've been up here once before to grab a hidden package that was on a roof to the left. But this time we go to the right. Don't go too fast because if you fall, oh gosh, if you fall off the train tracks, you got to come back up. So here is the icon. So we'll grab this. You can just jump off if you want, but I like going up to this intersection. I've had a lot of trouble with this. I had a lot of trouble with this rampage before, but I came up with what I think is a pretty safe strategy, and that's to drive my car off and then try to get a bunch of cars to kind of pile up. Put my car there in the middle, and then be careful because cars tend to drive erratically after they're all on fire and stuff. But so far, so good here. Run away. All right, so we lost a little bit of health there. We've got a couple of folks here who are kind of stuck. All right, and then as soon as I start getting beat up, I run up here. This seems like a nice protected place to be. And just wait for some cars to spawn. All right, so I don't want that officer to come up here. So I'm going to try to get him to go behind the wall. And then the sumo truck. Get some. Oh, maybe don't get some. So this isn't going super well. All right, that worked out pretty well. Maybe he'll catch the guy behind him on fire. That's pretty good. And then one more for that van. Now, if they drive off, you sometimes don't get credit, but that guy we were okay with. I actually like getting a little bit of wanted attention here because then you get a stream of police cars. Like if I had 2 wanted stars, that might be even better than what I have. But this, I think, is going to go okay. There's 2 wanted stars, but they'll disappear as soon as we complete the mission. So you can see there we only lost 12 of our armor, and so that's okay. But I used to have a heck of a tough time surviving. I died many times as I was learning that rampage, but I think I came up with a pretty safe strat, so that's cool. So I'm not thrilled with this truck that I have here, so maybe I can grab this one instead. Okay, so next rampage. Oh, there is armor not too far away, but I'm not going to go grab it. But maybe I can destroy a couple of these things here. Okay, so, but I don't want to mess around over there because there are people over there and you can't run or even jump with the rocket launcher. So I came up with this much safer strat, tiny bit slower, but you're protected up here and I like that. And so we're going to do most of What's happening? Is there somebody behind him? Guess not. I'm going to do most of this from here. There's a fixed rumpo right over there. Grab that one. There you go. And it's okay. That's not alive. Okay. It's okay if, so I'm just going to look here to the left and see if anybody spawns. Sometimes you can just get a steady stream of vehicles spawning from the left. I'm trying to get folks to spawn, but I don't see anyone. So we're just going to bail out on this location. And we're going to take this to our secondary spot. Usually I end up having to go to both spots, which is okay. So we're going to head over to the police station, and we're going to hide ourselves inside of this police station wall, and that will keep the pedestrians from getting angry at us. Miss, and blew myself up, but hopefully we get credit for that guy before he drives off, and we didn't. All right, and so now we're in trouble because this guy is right on our case, and this is actually not going well at all. Can I get behind the wall? All right, so there's one there. So this is not great because we've got, oh goodness, and this guy's going to come after me. All right, so I can get the ambulance there. I need some more traffic to spawn or we're going to fail. There's two left. I need this guy here and then this one here. Beautiful. I was not scared at all. Okay, so let's continue on to trial by fire. That rampage right there didn't go as well as it normally does. Typically, I can get a few more cars in my first location, and I tried to block the entrance to the police parking lot with my little pickup truck here, but I guess I didn't do a very good job of it because you can see I was getting harassed by one of the natives. Okay, there is health just on the other side of that little raised bush section there if you need it, but my health, there's a heart over there. If there were armor, I would grab it, but the heart isn't going to do me any good. Okay, this next one, where's my truck? This next one is basically another rampage. You have a little bit more time on this one, but the clock doesn't start until you pick up the weapon, which is marked with a gun icon on the map. And it's in a little alley that we've looked at before. So again, we're looking on the left-hand side on the top of these buildings for the orange Rockstar billboard. Once you know what you're looking for, you can't miss it. And that's when we turn left just in front of that building. And then we go right in here into this gap. And we will see the weapon of choice is right here. Have to grab that. And then I'm going to get back in my car. You could just start, like walking and hopping out here and try to kill 25 triads. Might be fine. But I think that they spawn pretty reliably inside the basketball court here. So we're going to get in there by going up to this hill and then just jumping over the fence. Now, they are going to come after you with guns blazing as soon as they see you in the beginning. There you go. So I'm going to back up here. All right, that was good. So you can see a big old collection of them there. But once that initial wave passes, they don't come after you anymore. But still, it is easy to die here because if you accidentally walk into the fire, then you take a lot of damage. I don't know how much. It might be like 30, 40 health points. And if one of them is on fire and then they start running erratically and run into you, then you catch on fire as well. So that's why you see me light them up and then hop the opposite direction so that I don't get in the path of their fire. I guess I should have mentioned we're going after the triads here. Hopefully that's clear. So it's just these guys in the blue suits. One thing you also want to be aware of is that there's a fire truck that's going to come, and you want to know where that fire truck is because sometimes they will break through the fence and run into you, and that hurts. Okay, only 6 left. I'm just kind of like flipping the camera around in the hopes of getting more of these triads to join me on the basketball court. All right, 3 left. Once you light them on fire, you don't need to see them die. You can just hop away and move on to the next one. And then that's it. Okay, so one thing to know is that for the rest of the game, the triads are going to be angry at you. So they're going to shoot at me every time I drive through Chinatown. And it's just, it's typically not a big deal, but it's something to be aware of. Okay, so next up is another blue phone mission. Might be the last one. I forget. I think it's the last one. And it's called Big and Veiny. So the first little thing there says grab the health in the park. And again, that's not going to help me because my health is at 100. My armor is quite low, but that's okay. So the next mission is right here, and I think this is a good place for us to end this video. Thanks for watching.